Oh my.
If you don't have parents still, you're still an orphan, even if you have grandparents. I think you can't escape this, unfortunately.
I forgot. Who's in this? Zega's not in the room, right? Grandpapa. Yep, grandpapa. Papa. Oh, okay, we've lost it. We've lost it. Ah,
Wait,
do you want to talk about?
oh wow, that's so weird. I just saw it was like being transported mentally to somewhere else. Like dreaming. I think so. Some of them I think I was, and some of them I wasn't. hmm it was just visual and hearing, I think. hmm
Well, wait. No, I think there's someone talking in the background of Florian.
Oh,
It's mine.
that's people outside my house.
Oh
Um,
God, you've got stalkers.
Out there,
People
no,
can be
no,
outside.
just sitting there
Got a
looking.
fan club.
I live near a school.
I made
Well,
the
I should probably
People
mistake.
shouldn't.
being
It's the
outside.
paparazzi.
I made the mistake of looking at my stream and going, "Hang on a minute, it's not registering the audio popping up." So for me,
can we
I've
not
been
be heard?
silent. No, I've just been silent from the start. Of this.
Just you.
Just me.
Oh dear.
Mhm.
Oh
Quite
well.
funny.
I'm sure if it doesn't come up on the stream,
So that big intro you did.
Eh, yeah. Oh well. It was me basically summarizing what happened last session, then going, "Hey, what do you guys want to do?" And also then thanking the person that decided to follow. That was basically the only thing that missed. Anyway, now that my audio has decided to stop fucking around and finding out, um, what is the
So
plan?
I need to go to sleep. Having visions is hard work.
that is fine, Florian. You may rest if you wish.
Okay, good night. And then
Good night,
Florian will
Florian.
go to sleep.
just drops to the floor.
Just like flops on the ground.
Bye.
So because
So
we do not have Mocha or Hugmug's player, I'm just going to default them to going to bed as well.
that is alright. Good night, Mocha. Good night, Hugmug.
I'm not replicating their voices.
Good night.
Don't you start. Anyway,
Good night.
Scoria
The story of Marcel.
and Marcel,
Oh yeah.
aside from
Mason.
Mason, you are the only two that are awake in the room. So I imagine that Florian drops off into sleep quite quickly after the rather exhaustive experience of channeling the futures.
So I have a grandfather, and I do not know how to process that. It's been a weird day.
That is an understatement, I think. I am quite surprised that your grandfather arrived here so quickly.
Yeah, it's almost. I mean, I don't want to tempt fate or be an asshole, but when you think about it, considering how dangerous his cards were, it was a bit of a waste of a card, wasn't it? There's no future, there's no, big, important thing in the future that you can either run from or guide yourself towards. No, it's happening 10 seconds from now.
I mean, what Florian saw was ultimately the past. It's obviously they had been. Your grandfather was leaving somewhere rather than arriving.
I suppose so.
But what did you think of the other visions?
DM, remind me what the other visions were.
I mean,
Who were
you
you
had
looking
Hugma.
at, actually?
There was only like
I mean,
half of it.
Hugmug's vision and was it their mother
Yes. So
leaving behind Hugmug it was in the forest somewhere, and then the future appeared, and then Hugmug's mother was wearing one of the crystal pendants that we've been seeing.
Oh, that's going to be a bit rough if we ever encounter her.
Yes. Part of me is curious as to the reasons why, but the other part of me. Ugh.
Wearing a pendant, that makes them an enemy. Plain and simple.
It makes me wonder if the mother truly knows what she's doing.
well, I mean, you can't necessarily say that she's a bad person. I mean, wait, were those cards real?
Yes,
I
they were.
thought. Oh, I thought it was just a.
Florian saw visions of my grandfather finding out about me and coming here. That had happened in the past. And then he was literally. Well, you saw him.
Yeah. You two
Or
look about
practically
similar.
a split image. Minus the age.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be kind of funny if you looked exactly like Marcel.
They chronicle events that are currently destined to happen to you.
Oh. I guess
And
I might be a bit thick then. I didn't, quite
It's okay.
process that one.
No
yours
worries.
was you sitting on a bed, contemplating something very seriously. Have you got anything on your mind? Anything we can help with?
I mean, I can't think of anything.
Maybe it is a conflict that is yet to arise.
He shrugs. I guess so.
Insight?
Go for it.
Oof. Oof. Oh crap, I closed my sheet by mistake.
Nailed it.
Hang on a sec, folks.
That's why I have everything
Be
in
right
one
back
group.
after these messages.
No.
Banana.
Picky.
Don't you start.
Chicken.
Don't.
6.
6.
6 total.
Bruh.
You notice that there is a little bit more to his body language than... I guess his tone and lack of understanding of what would lead to the outcome of what you've foreseen, or what has been foreseen in his future. His own understanding and his body language read as two very different things. He seems very tense, very on edge, but the way that he is talking and presenting himself seems very contrary to that. Almost seems as though he doesn't really know the state of himself as of this point in time.
So something's up, but there's no way of really finding out.
Yeah, it's like something must be bothering him, but he himself does not have a single clue as to what that is.
Okay, yes, there must be something in the future. However, the important one is yours, Scoria.
I forgot what the future is. What's the
Because-
future of us finding the matron?
Yes,
and
it means that we
potentially
find
breaking
her.
out?
It also means we don't find her on the road. Means we're probably not going to catch them before they get to where they're going.
After all, they had multiple days ahead of us.
Only one day, but yes. I don't recognize the place at all from what was described.
I do not think that a dark dungeon would be recognizable to anyone here.
You make a good point.
Unless you have something you would like to explain. In which case, I would be most concerned.
I have things I'd like to explore, but no, not yet.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm joking with you. It's fine. Lighten up.
You and your fantasies, keep them to yourself,
Okay.
preferably.
I will keep my
I am-
jokes to myself.
Your fantasies.
Jokes.
Sure, I'm sure that it is totally a joke and not a wild fantasy that you would like to experience.
Would you like to roll insight? Marcel, would
No.
you like to roll charisma as to which one it is?
No,
Okay,
Scor-
fine.
Scor-
Okay.
Scoria is being very much sarcastic.
Okay, I'm just being
Teasing.
I'm being very autistic then. Okay,
Fine.
don't mind
I
me.
have wanted to learn to pick locks for a while. I want to escape a dungeon sometime, like a real escape artist.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so
A
cool.
dungeon. A regular dungeon.
Knock out the
And then
guard, carve out the hole with a file. You know, dress up as the cleaning staff.
Everything seems to go over his head.
Mason is just
Anyway.
sitting there looking at
Oh yes, I
Looking
forgot
at
everything
Marcel
goes
with-
over the top of your head.
kind of confused. What are we talking about again?
Prisons.
I don't.
Okay. I'm gonna go and
Go to bed.
get some water, and then probably go to bed.
Oh shit.
You
Don't
okay
worry, I
there?
dropped something. I dropped something. It's okay.
Mason gets up, leaves the room, and heads that you can hear his semi-heavy footsteps down the stairs as he goes to go and get himself some water.
His hooves.
Yes, he does in fact have hooves. So
You can hear.
So,
yes,
Marcel,
Yeah.
what is going on between you, Mason, and Xavier exactly? Because there is a tension.
Tension. Well, we're friends. And maybe something more. Maybe not. We shall see.
Oh, so you're teasing them. That can.
No!
Well, that's it. From what it sounds like, you are definitely teasing them.
I have my eye on one of them. I'm pretty sure both of them have their eye on me. Just
Oh, so which one do
really
you have your eye on?
awkward. Hmm?
Is it Xavier?
No.
Inside?
Deception. 6.
Hold on. Like my shape. I'm going to social and travel. Oh no! Where's my insight? Oh fuck. Dice, you have betrayed me! You have betrayed me! Fucking rolled a 1 for a 4 total.
I am a master of perception. Fuck!
Well done.
Ha!
I am a master of deception.
So
Totally.
you attempt to try and read into what Marcel is saying, but nothing really makes it obvious as to which one he is invested in.
You better be careful, Marcel. People's feelings are not to be easily trifled with.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just being myself. I can't help it if I'm so lovable.
Yes, you're totally lovable and not at all infuriating.
And he has the biggest beaming smile on his face as if it's gone completely over his head what's just been said. Aw, thank you!
I'm being sarcastic, Marcel.
Oh no.
Anyway. Before... Oh, was it a few days ago? I don't know time. What the fuck is time? I don't know time.
It's a social construct.
Yeah, I believe it. It's a social
It's a social
construct.
point. Shut the fuck up.
I read it in the books once.
You read? That surprises me.
I read all the time!
Savage.
Very mean.
I know.
Not entirely untrue though. Anyway,
But
continue.
well, it was a night or so ago. You know how I prayed to the Night Mother, yes?
Yeah.
For guidance.
Yeah.
And I was visited.
You were?
I
Wait.
was visited by another
Was I here
worshipper
for
of the Night
this?
Mother. You were watching from Xavier's
Yes.
bedroom, but
Yeah.
Story doesn't know that.
There we go.
What?
Story doesn't know you are watching.
Oh, really? You were?
Yes, though Xavier had informed me since they apparently the Haunted Woman was waiting outside menacingly.
Wow, that's really creepy.
But when that night I went into I went outside to meet this woman.
And how did it
And I
go?
was Scroy pulls out the amulet. I was handed this.
Oh, shiny. And he sort of skitters over. What is it?
I don't know. It is a pendant. I do not know exactly if it has any special
Yeah, what
purpose,
am I looking
but
at?
You're looking at a necklace of two overlapping claws made from what appears to be a semi-translucent obsidian of some kind. It almost appears that there is a orangish red colored liquid inside of the gems. And it is these gemstones are adorned with a silver, like, I forget what the word is. Basically, all the gems are embedded into this like silver frame that holds it all together, and it has very thin metallic chain, that kind of acts as the necklace.
Did they tell you what it's for?
no.
You just stuck it in your pocket and said bye.
They placed it in my hand and wished us luck.
I guess clutch that and try and pray? For guidance? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Perhaps.
Maybe it has like a really powerful spell in it. It's like enchanted.
Who knows? I'm not particularly good at spells.
I am. Maybe if I throw it at them, it'll explode.
No. Let us not throw it.
Okay. Well, keep out of it and keep it safe.
Of course I will. I'm not going to lose it like you've lost some of your things.
Actually, it's someone who does magic.
Yes.
Does it have any magic aura coming up of it?
Arcana check.
Piss. 13.
You notice a faint warmth coming off of it whilst Scoria is holding it, but outside of that, you can't really detect anything.
It appears to be magical, but I don't know what it does. Maybe it is a bomb.
Well, what is it with you and explosives all of a sudden?
I think they're cool. Well, it is. If it was given to us for a quest, it's either a location device, it's either summon something, or it is your weapon. Those are the only three things I can think of it being.
Alrighty, but I will continue to keep a hold of it, of course. I do not plan on letting a gift from the Night Mother to go missing or easily break. I'm sure that it won't. A mother's embrace, after all, is one of the most loving things.
I guess you should probably wear it if it's a pendant.
True.
That's generally what pendants are for. Maybe it will give you some sort of, I don't know, ability.
True.
Some new power
should
unawakened.
Oh no. Maybe it will finally give me the power to punch you into the sun.
If only. And he poops around the nose.
Bruh. Oh,
Anyway,
dear.
it's getting late.
I shall tell you now. You do whatever you do with your romantic interests.
I will. Good night, Squire.
Good night, Marcel. Don't be a whore.
He's going to open his arms outstretched as a hug.
Scoria will hug him
Yay!
and proceed. Noogie, 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 noogie.
Scoria will hug him and then German suplex him.
Oh,
Alright. Off to bed now. Good night.
Good night.
composure, DM. Come on, composure. Okay, so Scoria gets into bed. Marcel, what are you doing? Are you going to bed as well?
How long has it been since Xavier retired to his room to have a big sad?
About 5-10 minutes, roughly, in that time range.
Do I think that he's ready to talk yet?
Insight check.
That's better. Mm-hmm. 19.
You are deeply aware that the way he has responded to the situation is almost perfectly in line with what the fate card foretold. He is isolating himself away from the rest of your group because he is upset. Which, if he...
I should probably do something about that. I picture Marcel as the kind of person that talks to himself.
Check it out.
Fear not, Xavier, I'm on the way! He marches off to Xavier's room.
Okay, so you leave the room and march off to the room that Xavier and Mason are sharing. The door itself is not locked.
But very cautiously opens the door.
And as you open the door, you find the familiar silhouette of Xavier sat on the floor, looking out of the bedroom window towards the moon, which is casting its light into this room. It is the only light source within said room.
I'm going to walk up to him and sit with my legs crossed beside him. Probably get shanked because I didn't announce my presence.
He turns his head towards you. By the time you get about halfway across the room. So you're just going to sneak up on me without saying anything?
Sorry. It was an accident.
Accident or not. I've already told you once to announce your presence when you enter the room.
Okay, but I wasn't sure if I need to look to where Mason should be.
He's not there.
He's not there, no, because he's gone for water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't want to disturb. Oh, he's not here. Okay.
So,
Mind if I sit? Or I could just stand over here. Or I could leave.
whatever it is you prefer, I don't really care.
And he goes and sits cross-legged next to him.
He seems unfazed by the fact that you have taken this seat. And the two of you sit there in awkward silence. Not a word is said.
So, stupid question, but how are you doing?
That is a stupid question. You should know I am not doing great judging on how I have walked out of the room. But it does not seem that intelligence is exactly the first thing that you are known for. So,
Oh no, the question implies I would like you to tell me what's going on. I
well,
want to help.
I don't know. Being told that you're going to die because you're going to die alone isn't exactly the most refreshing thing to hear. Especially since I am making an effort to at least try and convene with regular people. It's almost like years of conditioning have gone into making sure that I am the perfect weapon that does not ask questions and just does the mission.
Well,
Of course, wouldn't expect you to understand that now, because you've actually had a parental upbringing.
Well, the vision said that you were alone and abandoned
Duh.
by everybody. And it also said, well, not the vision, but the rules said that the things that are shown are not definitely going to happen.
Congratulations, you know how to read. Your point?
So, that's not going to happen.
And
Because
why
I'm
should I
not
believe
going
that?
to abandon you.
And why should I believe that?
Well, I don't know.
There is no guarantee that in any situation that comes up, that I am always going to be present. I guarantee you, if the option were to arise, you and your entire group would abandon me in an instant if it meant finding your maintenance sooner. I am not stupid. I know how these things work. I have a purpose. I will serve it. And then when you have no more use for me, you will get rid of me. It does not take a blind man to see the curtains.
I do not know what that means. But I do know that I'm not going anywhere. So a blind man wouldn't be able to see curtains because he's blind.
That is the point. The blind man would feel the warmth of the sun and know that there are no curtains there. So if you cannot feel the warmth of the sun, there are curtains. That is the whole point of the analogy.
Right. And Marcel is basically just sitting there thinking about all the other sources of warmth instead of instead of the sun that could fool a blind man into thinking they're curtains.
Anyway, what is actually the point of you being here?
I came to comfort you,
Why would they need comforting?
because you seem lonely. You seem upset.
Duh.
Well, what do you normally do when you're upset? What makes you feel better?
I don't. At all.
Okay.
Simply put, I am a trained warrior who has been purposefully crafted to make sure that at no point do I experience these puny emotions. Unfortunately, I seem to be defective.
Well, whenever I'm deep in thought, I like to make food. I like to eat food.
Good for you.
Oh. What is your favorite chocolate?
He looks at you baffled. What?
Chocolate. Chocolate always makes me feel better. It is a cure-all for any sadness or upset.
He frowns at you as though you've lost your mind.
Have you ever had chocolate?
I've never had chocolate. Duh, I have had chocolate. I'm not a fool. I'm aware of its existence. I have played it once or twice when I was much younger than I am now.
So which is your favorite?
Dark chocolate.
Oh, dark chocolate.
I like the bitterness and the sweetness. It is nice.
Yes, it's a nice dichotomy? No, that's not the right word. Anyway, wait right there. And he gets up and scrambles out of the room.
And
I'll be back.
You are what? You can feel his eyes follow you as you dart out through. That same level of uncertainty and confusion about him as you leave the room. Where are you going?
To the... It's an inn, isn't it?
Yes.
The reception.
You go down there, and you find the innkeeper. The innkeeper is not there, however, there does appear to be a gentleman manning the help desk. Or manning this desk.
Hello.
Well, how can I help you, mate?
Well, it's a bit of an odd request, but I have a friend upstairs who's feeling very sad and a little peckish, and I want to try and cheer him up. I was wondering if you had any chocolate. Dark chocolate in particular. Ow.
Yeah, there's a table there.
Yeah, there's a table there. Yeah, I just smashed my hand into the table for anyone who's
Slow clap of applause. Well,
wondering.
I suppose I can have a look.
Thank you.
Dark chocolate, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like patting his hand on the counter.
And you watch as he goes into the room behind him, and comes out with a singular bar of what appears to be a red foil wrapped chocolate bar.
Oh, this will be perfect. How much?
Oh mate, your expenditure costs have been covered by the guild, so
Brilliant.
that don't cost you anything.
Thank you so much.
Perfectly fine.
I'll be the same. He runs back upstairs.
You do so.
Tripping on the way up. Because I imagine he is sprinting with reckless abandon.
So you get to the top step and slip, and your chin hits the floor.
Ow. Pulls himself up. Runs back into the room. Hello, I'm back. Ow.
You're quite alright there.
Yeah, I got a little overzealous. A little carried away. and now I have a bad chin.
That is unfortunate.
But look what I got!
And you notice a mildly hesitant look painted across his face. Oh, right. Thank you.
And he basically almost skids on his knees back to his position.
And he's just holding it, looking at it. Hasn't unwrapped it, it's just observing it.
And Marcel looks at the chocolate, looks at him, looks at the chocolate, looks at him.
And he looks at you.
Almost with a tiny bit of impatience because it's a
What?
the look of, oh, I would also like chocolate, so.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Do you want it?
No, eat it. Take a bite.
And you watch as he very tentatively takes the wrapping off of it. And the process is, like, he's looking at it in a way, it's almost as though he is intimidated by the bar that he is holding. There is hesitation in his body language. And you watch as he very tenderly kind of cranes his head forward and takes the smallest bite out of the bar, taking off a singular square and chewing it.
And Marcel just watches, almost bubbling with excitement.
As you notice tears on his face.
Oh no, is it bad? Did I get the bad one?
No, because I'm okay. Roll insight. You rolled in that one, didn't you?
I did.
Saw immediate drop in your face, like, which is it one total?
Mm-hmm.
You're not quite sure what it is. Maybe it's just. Maybe it is a bad bar. You're not quite sure.
Sometimes they don't store it right or they don't cook it right and it goes hard as a rock. I've broken my tooth once and had to get it repaired. With magic, of course.
He raises an eyebrow. Oh.
Although that might have been because I had it frozen.
That does not sound like a very intelligent move to make.
It's so tasty though, because then it melts in like stages. You put it in your mouth and then it melts to like its neutral point and then it starts to melt properly.
But does not just make a diluted chocolate.
I don't know.
It seems rather nonsensical, but I suppose that is appropriate considering it is.
I am rather nonsensical.
I had noticed. You can have it now if you want. And he offers it back to you with that singular square taken.
Muscle takes it, snaps it in half, gives one side back to Xavier. No. What are you?
And he just looks at it.
If you don't want it, wrap it up and have it later. As he takes a massive bite out of his. Not going square by square, just like full on into the bar.
He takes another.
Probably getting chocolate on his whiskers.
Put that like. You know what? I'm not gonna question it. But he takes this bite. Another small square. And you notice more tears. Would you like to roll another insight check?
Yeah. 9. Better.
You notice that there is some sort of connection between his the emotional response he has and the food that he is consuming. There's something about this chocolate that is
I read the chat.
provoking an emotional response.
And he just sort of studies him. Everything okay?
No. No. Not ever. Nothing is okay.
Oh no. And he scoots closer and a hand on his knee. What is up? You can tell me.
You watch as his expression, the expression on his face, kind of almost calculating for a moment how to respond. Well, how does one put it? Whilst I was still at the Shattered Antler, you'll notice that I am significant proportions, physically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
compared to most people that would fit into my caliber of work. I am an illusionist. You would not expect for me to be, well, any sort of defined as I am. Sure, that is partly thanks to my orc genetic tree, but
You're part orc?
the
Interesting.
and he smiles at you a little bit, and you notice that he had his canines on the bottom row are a little bit larger than are a little larger in size.
Cool. And midway through this conversation, Marcel has noticed his energy levels and is now trying to bring himself down.
Okay.
He got a little hyper.
How does one put it? Whilst they were still with the Shattered Antler, they would control everything. What we ate, what things we would interact with, down to the very hour that we would sleep at. Everything was controlled. Measured, one might say. I have not tasted chocolate in years. I remember before they took me into the Shattered Antler after my parents died. Though I have reason to believe they didn't exactly pass away of natural causes. There's a slight sadness to his face. I remember my papa taking me to get chocolate. And I remember making an absolute mess of myself eating it. And there's a very sad smile on his face. I guess I am feeling a bit alone. It is the first time in years that I have had the chance to be around people of my own volition rather than being forced to interact with specific people for the sake of some arbitrary unit of measurement. That you must interact with these people to make sure that you're getting this quota of this type of interaction per day, and making sure that you're not getting too friendly with people, because God forbid that you start developing bonds with people.
That is horrible. That is no way to live.
Can you even consider it living?
No.
But with no mama, no papa. That was it. I had the Shattered Antler, or I would freeze to death in the snow. It is not exactly a pleasant situation to be in.
No, but the bright side is you are out of it.
For how long? That is the question.
Forever and ever, if I have it my way.
He smiles at you. What exactly is the purpose of you being as friendly as you've been? There must be more to it than just wanting to get along.
I like spending time with you. You make me happy.
You know,
You're interesting and fascinating.
You notice a slight warmth in his expression as you speak. Is that so?
Yeah.
He ponders. So what exactly is so riveting about a monotonous, cold-hearted girl like myself? It seems as though your companions, like even the little one, Florian, he seems interested to know who I am, but there is a bit of a difference between you and he. There is something additional. I cannot quite put my thumb on it. Even the older of your companions, the girl with the wings, she seems to have a lot more. She seems to have a lot more common sense about her than you do by a mile, and she seems to respectfully tolerate my presence, which is understandable considering my standpoint between her and the rest of you and your matron.
Well, I think everybody deserves to be happy. And you have not gotten that, so I want to give it to you.
And that is it.
You're interesting, you're fascinating, you're cool, you're scary, and that kind of excites me. And I don't know why, but... and you're cute. You're pretty.
This brings a frown to his face. I suppose that I'm trying to understand here is what exactly is expected of me.
Nothing. Nothing is expected of you, your choices are your own. I would like to spend time with you. If you do not, then don't, I guess.
I see. Because you are aware that you are of great interest to our Bovian friend. It seems like your little stunt has left a lot of a very notable impression.
Yes, I'm not proud of doing that. But at the time it seemed like it was what needed to be done. And I think he's pretty too, but...
But
I don't know. I like spending time with both of you. But you fascinate me.
I see. So what exactly... He ponders for a moment as though trying to formulate his words. This is what is known as friendship, duh? Or...
Yeah, friendship.
Okay.
We are friends.
Okay. I see. And there's a gentle smile to his face. Well, it seems as though the big cow wants to be more than just a friend of yours. He seems invested. You hear a very small chuckle come from him. So what exactly is the genius plan there then?
I do not know. I'm taking life one step at a time. I don't have plans.
It shows. You know, you catch him rolling his eyes. Well, as a friend of yours, I would not advise playing with his heart.
Okay, I'm not playing with anybody's heart.
Mm. Your behavior is giving mixed messages.
Right. What does that mean?
It is giving the impression that you like both of us as something beyond the idea of friendship, but you are stringing us along by not really making clear what is expected of either of us. I think you're okay. It confuses me as to why
Well, I
You
do
seem-
like you as more than a friend, but I don't know if you're ready for that. So
I can't tell if you're trying to be smooth or if you're just failing epically at responding to what I'm saying. Or is it both?
I'm going to pick up Sinead because it reflects better on me.
Oh, you are hopeless, aren't you?
A little bit.
So what exactly do we do from here? I have never experienced this situation.
Neither have I.
And he looks a bit lost as he takes another rather large bite out of his chocolate, almost devouring the whole thing in one bite.
There you go. That's better.
There is a big smile on his face as he's chewing. There's about a minute of silence between the two of you before he finishes chewing and swallows, consuming what is left of the chocolate. And so what exactly is the plan from here?
Is it plan?
And I assume that your comrades have at least thought ahead.
We go to Lenfar,
And
to this guild, and see if they can help us.
okay, I see. I suppose you should probably get going to bed.
Are you sure?
He tilts his head at you. What do you mean, am I sure?
Do you not want company?
I mean, it would be nice, but think of Mason.
Okay.
It seems a little bit unfair for you to stay here in this room, concern your companions, and then also probably upset Mason in the process. It is very clear that he has not quite gotten the hint yet. Or at least is
Is that
struggling
what
with
this
it.
vision was about?
Hmm?
Is that what this vision was about?
I don't know. This is not information that I would be privy to. I guess you must have drawn his card after I left. That one I don't remember. One of those two. Not my creaky ass chat. So I see. I see once more. What is the plan?
I guess I go to bed.
Alright. Sleep well, little mouse. And he gives your head a pat.
What?
Oh, how do you do this? And he kind of like awkwardly shifts and opens his arms up a little bit. Like this? No. I think it's like this. And he leans forward and kind of puts arms around you, but doesn't really hug you. It's more of just his arms are hovering around your being. Like that. Okay.
And Massa wraps his arms around Xavier. And squeezes very tight.
You notice he flinches the moment you make contact with him. Oh, okay. There. I think this is how... This is confusing. As he's very gently, like, patting your back. It's very ham-fisted, as though he has no fucking clue what he's doing. I think this is... this is right.
And Marcel just squeezes him tighter and buries his head slightly in his chest.
Oh. Okay.
This is nice. You're very warm.
Thank you.
And comfy. Anyway. Good night.
Good night. And I presume you head back into your room.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a perception check as you leave.
That is... 24.
Okay. You hear a slight grumbling sound as you go into the hallway, but it is borderline pitch black. As you open the door and then turn to your right to go back into the room.
Okay.
And you go and get in bed, and you can hear a door opening and closing from out in the hallway. You get into bed, put your head down the pillow, and the next morning you hear the chirping of birds. As you are awoken by the sun, as the curtain is open.
Somebody turn the sun off. I want 5 more minutes.
It is beaming quite brightly, as though it is with malicious intent to stab you in the eyeballs with its brightness.
Maliciously shines.
Scoria,
Yes.
I need your wing. The sun's hurting me.
Oh. Bullshit. Oh no.
Roll for initiative against the sun.
No. I'm not having you fight the sun.
Yeah.
I cast Blizzard on the sun.
That's for level 100.
I don't think Phoenix would take kindly to you trying to ice her. So...
Okay, I don't have the range for it anyway.
So you are preparing yourselves for the day. So you end up getting ready for the day. You get ready for the day and realize there is nothing immediate on your schedule. So you have free reign of what you wish to do from here.
I'm going to go see my grandfather.
What would you like to do, Florian?
I will be considering. Pondering.
Pondering what, might I ask?
What to do from here.
Okay. Meanwhile, Marcel, you want to go visit Grandpapa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you make your way down the hall to find the door to your grandfather's room. knocking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you knock on the door, and the older Burmesian male opens it with a soft smile. Ah, hello there.
Hello.
It's lovely to see you.
It is lovely to see you too. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, can we have a chat?
Of course.
I want to know everything about you. And me. By proxy.
Well, there might be quite a bit to go through, but I suppose I can give you the general details. Feel free to come in.
I must have done so.
And you notice that he has a much higher class room than what the rest of you and your companions have.
Wow, it's so fancy.
Well, I thought I would splurge a little bit, since the money that I have spent on repairs for the inn meant that I had a little extra left to the side.
It even has one of those little weird toilet things that you flush your butt with. I don't know what they're called. Bidet! That's it, bidet.
What are you doing? Why are you in the bathroom?
I'm looking around. It's pretty.
Well, I suppose whoever's been looking after you for all this time has not exactly taught you manners. Well, I should be thankful for one thing at least. I suppose the long and short of it, you are the youngest in the lineage of Burmesians that run the Ramza inns across the globe. Unfortunately, a lot of them. Yes, we were planning. There is
Marcel
a
goes and sits down on the bed.
there is
Or
a large
table or
number.
chairs or whatever is in this room to sit down on.
Okay. There is a large number of these inns that were planned across the globe. Your mother and father were intending to spread some awareness to gain a little bit of extra funding to secure the deal they were going for. But unfortunately, they got caught right in the middle of a storm that destroyed the caravan completely. And when the patrols managed to find them, well, there was no sign of any survivors. And the inn that I was running, where everything started, had fallen into disrepair over time.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's perfectly fine. There was a young gentleman that was staying at the inn that gave me quite the hefty sum of gold, or gil. May as well be gold, as much as there was. Quite the heavy pouch.
I saw a vision.
Hmm?
So there's these really cool cards that we were using when you arrived yesterday. They're actually a magical artifact. And what they do is they allow you to see the future and the past.
He's nodding, and he has the kind of he has the kind of energy about him that's like when you're trying to explain like technology to an old person and they don't really get it, but they're trying to be supportive nonetheless. That's the kind of expression he has about him.
Marcel does not notice that he's not getting it, and so continues.
Mhm.
They're called I don't know what they're called. I can't remember, but they're used by Farseers. Yes, it's Farseers.
Mm-hmm.
And they allow you to see the future and the past. And when I took my card, I saw you. I saw you rushing here after receiving a large amount of money.
Mhm.
Although I was not expecting it to be like 5 minutes in the future. I expected it to be a bit further. But I'm not complaining. I'm very happy to see you.
Well, that's good. I was wondering, since you're where have you been all this time?
Oh, I was found. I was found by a very lovely lady, our matron, Helga.
I see.
She raised me, along with
Not
my
very well, it would
siblings.
seem, considering your manners.
Okay.
Siblings. Huh.
Yes, the people you met. Well, besides the Bovian and the deer.
I see. Well, at least you weren't alone. That's the important thing. And why are you all the way out here?
Well, some very bad people came and kidnapped her, our
Oh,
matron, and
Well-
burned down our house.
that is,
So we are trying to get her back.
well,
And
that
our
is
leads have led us
unfortunate.
here.
That is unfortunate to hear. But I guess you don't have to worry too much now. Your family is here. I have arrived, and if you wish, you may come back home with me. We can go back to Brunswick and eventually build up enough money to move back to the capital city of Bermesia.
I'd be happy to come to Brunswick. After I find the matron.
He seems confused. What do you mean?
Well, she is also family. It's all I've ever known.
I see.
Maybe not blood family, but I can't just leave her. She needs my help.
He looks a little saddened.
I am sorry. I don't want to upset you.
It is fine. Well, I guess I will end up returning to my little inn in a couple of days' time. And you are welcome to visit if you wish.
We used to spend time together until then. And I'd love to come visit. But I have to get this done first.
He doesn't respond, seemingly lost in his thoughts.
I am very sorry. And he looks down at the floor and then sort of almost the way a dog does. With like looking out the top of his eyes.
And he maintains this slightly saddened, but as neutral an expression as he can have. I see. Well,
I'd love to see your inn sometime. Tell me about it. How many floors does it have? For example. Is it nice? What color are the carpets? What color are the walls?
well,
I can picture it in my head.
it fell under disrepair. It is still being repaired, so I cannot answer those questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marcel looks at the floor, not really sure what to say.
It seems as though your grandfather has become a little awash with his emotions. This has definitely gone very, very differently to how he expected it to.
Would you like a hug?
I'll be alright.
Okay.
I'll be heading out into the town in a little bit. But hopefully you and your siblings can find your matron. I
Do-
need a little bit to myself.
Do you have enough money to get back?
It is nothing for you to worry about, Marcel.
I at least want to make sure you're safe.
I will be fine.
Okay.
The city is guarded, and there is a large guild.
Okay. Hmm. It was nice to meet you. Hopefully I see you again before we part ways.
Maybe.
I'd love to know all about Brunswick and about your inn and everything that's happened to you.
You notice that
What my family were like.
you notice his expression is very flat. Of course.
Do you want me to go now?
You are free to do as you wish.
Okay. He slowly gets up in the bed and starts walking out of the room.
He says nothing as you leave and close the door behind you. Meanwhile, the rest of the group have gathered in the main room again to figure out what's next. The only guarantee that you have right now is that there is a airship journey from Harkvale to Lenfar waiting for you.
I think we head to Harkvale.
Mm. Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't know of anything else that we can deal with on the way here.
Yep. Okay, we head to Harkvale and we look out for signs of the Order of the Crystal along the way, or at least suspicious members along the way.
Sounds like a plan. And that is when Marcel rejoins you guys. Hey, took you long enough. We've already started figuring out where to go.
Water.
Oh, okay. Has there been any thoughts?
Harkvale?
Okay, sounds good.
You seem a little sullen, Marcel. Is everything alright?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be fine. Anyway. Harkvale, airship. Right. Suppose we better get packing.
Pack what?
Good point.
I put my hat on. All packed.
Well,
Well, I can go and get the cart sorted out. So I'll be back in a bit to come and get you guys, but are we gonna stop off at the town in the middle, or are we just heading straight there?
Um,
Because we could stop
it would
at
probably
Taysu.
be nice to stop off in the middle, to get supplies or anything we need. Or one.
Sounds like a plan.
Or just have a day out.
I think the place has a relatively decent drop off point, so maybe we can just go straight through. Just stop off, pick up some supplies, and then carry on. Alright. I'll go and get the cart sorted out, and then come get you guys when everything's sorted.
Alrighty.
Mocha, Pugmo, come give me a hand, will you? And the three of them leave to go and get the cart sorted out. Leaving Florian, Marcel, Scoria, and Xavier in the room. So, we're heading straight to... We're heading there, and then what is the plan once we get to this new place?
Well, you see, there was that note earlier on that guy that said that they were taking her to Harkvale. But then there was also, we have an airship ticket from Harkvale to Lenfar to talk to some guild something, maybe?
Duh.
Guild monster.
That might have information.
And what do we do from there? He looks a little
We'll find
anxious. There's a tiny
Okay.
bit of anxiety to him as he speaks, and I presume that you will want me to stick with you.
If you want.
Sure, yeah.
Well, it
Right,
is more.
fine.
And he looks at the table for a moment as he's like looking at the map of Varnexian. I suppose the best reason for me to explain is because I am aware that my involvement in your situation is not exactly a desirable trait to have accompanying you. So I thought I would ask, just in case there has been a change of opinion.
Yeah.
That's
You're a
right.
friend now.
You're part of the team.
I appreciate it. Oh dear.
We can hide Mocha's food supply.
We need a team name.
You want me to try pulling some illusory stuff to stop her stealing other people's food?
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Can you
But
make
otherwise we'll get
illusory
into
food?
your food as well.
I mean, he ponders for a moment.
They could be able to tell the difference.
I mean, I could try. No, that's not appropriate. That's not. I could try and enchant the food so that whenever she gets near it, it sounds like a horde of geese are screaming at her.
That seems a little
That
torturous.
sounds traumatizing.
A hold of ease.
A horde of geese. Have you never seen a goose? They're menacing, powerful, and deadly.
Have we?
They're
Have we
lo-
ever seen it?
I would picture you
We
seeing
don't
a
wanna
goose.
traumatize
Have you
them.
seen a geese?
I'm picturing you seeing a goose at least
A goose.
once.
Once from a distance. Why?
As an
Are
18,
they,
I've seen many geese.
are they more menacing up front or something?
They're a type of bird. That being said,
A car?
I could try one very specific thing. There is a type of herb that is supposed to be like an appetite suppressant. At least for shorter bursts.
Hmm.
They used to use it at the Shattered Antler quite a lot. And he grimaces a little bit as he realizes what he's saying. For, assassination purposes and to stop people, what is the word? Accidentally ingesting their own poisons.
And Marcel glances at him.
And he sticks his tongue out at you in a somewhat playful manner.
He sticks his tongue out.
He grabs it. Victory by any means. Hey, let's go your tongue. Anyway, what was your conversation about this morning?
Who's that to?
he's looking at you, Marcel. What was your conversation about? It was. There was some chit chat, and then it got very quiet.
Yeah, it was fun. He's got like a really expensive room. It's like all sorts of cool things in it. And yeah, it's,
Did you exercise your manners?
that's right. I got a little carried away.
What do you mean by carried away?
I was pointing out stuff in the room that I thought was cool, that I had not seen before, and he didn't seem to like that.
Did you at least say hello and show interest in him before picking apart this room, or did you go straight for the room first and then?
I said hello.
Okay. Scoria,
There
I
was
think
a-
we may need to educate him on how to conduct himself a little better.
There was a personal and very
Oh.
indignant discussion before he let me in the room.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to be concerned? Did you do something?
I'm sure it's fine.
But yeah, I'm trying to visit him sometime. He's not staying long, so he's going back to Brunswick in a couple of days.
That is why you're moping.
Hmm? I'm not moping.
Bullshit. Have you at least gone and said that we're probably leaving today? No? Florian, kick his ass.
No, I don't think I will.
Oh.
Oh,
I said
Well-
hopefully I see him again before we leave. But then he left.
We're going to be leaving in like a few minutes. Depending on however long it takes Mason to get back.
We can leave a note.
Yes, I'd like to do that.
did he say anything else? Or
Yeah, he came here because he found out about me and tried to get me to go home with him. And I said no.
I mean, that seems pretty reasonable to me.
And it really upset him. And I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, call me the stick in the mud here. I am not part of your family. As Xavier looks at Florian and Scoria, I am not part of this family of yours. But the man has assumed that you were dead for however many years you have existed for. And if I'm to understand correctly, rather than immediately fixating on him, you went for the parts of this room?
No.
No? Okay, well then maybe I am just incorrect here. I will go talk to him.
I showed interest in the room because it was cool. I got a little excited because I was really excited to meet him and speak and talk and
And
find
you
out about
hear,
him.
you watch as Xavier gets up from his chair, cracks his knuckles, and goes walking off towards your grandfather's room.
Did I do something wrong?
Hey, old man, we're going to have a conversation. You hear a door open and a door close.
Oh man, I hope Xavier doesn't beat your grandfather up.
You won't.
And as you say that, you hear a thudding sound.
Oh shit.
no?
Uh-oh. I run off towards it.
Okay. Florian, as you run off, you are the first to get there.
I also ran off.
Florian is the first to get there. And through
I can't really see.
the door, you can hear laughter. You can hear Xavier laughing with with Marcel's grandfather through the door.
Oh.
And though it's quite muffled, you manage to pick up something about an empty champagne bottle getting knocked over,
Ooh.
which would explain the source of the sound. if you wish, you may eavesdrop in on this conversation. Or,
I do wish a little bit.
you do wish. If you want to, you may.
I do have good stealth.
Yeah, you have to roll stealth.
I will roll stealth.
Scoria, have you attempted to prevent
Yeah.
Marcel from sprinting after Florian, or are you just letting it be?
Gloria is laying it be.
Fair.
I rolled a 23.
Okay, you manage to using your agile feline frame. You manage to slink on over to the door and pop your ear up to it. Marcel, I'm presuming you're full pelt sprinting it down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a perception check.
My dice are betraying me today. Everything that's really important story-wise, I've rolled terribly for. Everything that's mostly meaningless, I've rolled great for.
The interesting
I'm
conundrum.
just away.
9.
You notice that you notice where the very obvious colourful outline of Florian against the wall as he's listening to the door. Because whilst he is well hidden, you are very familiar with his antics, as the two of you are partners in crime, so you recognise his presence almost immediately.
And with an almost cartoonish skid of his heels, he grinds to a halt.
Are you joining Florian to listen to what's happening in the room?
Respectful, and I've already been disrespectful once.
You can very clearly see Florian with his ear pushed up against the door. It is closed.
You've exceeded your disrespect quota for today.
Is he okay? Whispering
Yeah,
to Florian.
I think so.
Okay, and he walks back into the room.
So you go back to where Scoria is.
Yes.
Okay, so Florian, you're
He's
listening in
trying
on
to
the
exercise
conversation.
manners.
Florian has no such moral obligation. There we go. I got a word. As you listen in. So what exactly is your plan from here? It was Darius, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Well, I was hoping to have my grandson come home with me, but alas, he has declined, which is upsetting. Well, I mean, can you blame him? You haven't known each other for like what? How long ago was this incident of yours? About 20 years ago, roughly. 19. It'll be the 20th year this year. Well, like it or not, it seems like their matron was the one that was looking after them, and they're going to go find her. I mean, it's great that you've come here, but please tell me you didn't genuinely expect for him to just abandon the people that he has grown up with. Well, I suppose when you put it that way, it isn't exactly the most, forward thinking of me. No, not at all. It is like me if somebody came up to you and expected you to abandon your daughter because they knew who you were 2 decades ago. Well, it's funny you should mention that. I do remember one particular instance of that happening. I appreciate that, old man, but I am not here to listen to your tales.
Really
I tell you what.
Marcel.
I tell you what. I will do my best to look after him. Despite the fact he's a little shit. Probably gets that from his mother. I don't know his parents, so I will take your word for it. You intend to go? Where were you intending to go again? Well, I have this what was a holiday home in Bermesia. So I'll be going there whilst the inn in Runswick is being fixed. Okay. Well, I will make you a deal. Little bit cheeky of me, but I will make sure that your grandson comes to visit you in Bermesia. But I would like your permission for a particular thing I had in mind. And the voices start talking to each other in a more whispered tone.
Do I make a perception check?
Yes.
Disadvantage?
With disadvantage
Ooh.
and a -5 penalty.
Ooh!
I already have advantage though, so
So it'd be rolling
just normal?
normally with a -5.
the -5 perception. So I have -1 total.
Yeah.
Big number. 15.
Fuck me. Okay, you succeed. As the voice is in a more hushed tone. So what I would like to do is I am potentially going to try and at least get have your son potentially or grandson, sorry. At least get emotionally connected with somebody who is at least somewhat respectable in nature. You've seen the big bull guy that has been here and there. Well, yes, I have. I fail to see what he's got to do with it. Well, simply put, he's a friend of ours, and essentially, they seem to like each other. Well, what about you? You seem respectable. Trust me, I'm not. I am not exactly appropriate match, we'll put it that way. So, what do you say? If I can get your son to at least match up with somebody that is appropriate, then I will put myself under the exertion of trying to make sure that he actually gets to Bermesia to visit you. Sounds like a deal. Perfect. And Florian, you hear footsteps coming towards the door.
I'm leaving. Hopefully.
Funny.
Pardon you.
You know that thing where you spook a cat and they shoot off 100
Yeah,
miles an hour?
exactly like that.
So, you get partway down the hallway.
And you slam straight into...
Can you make me a wisdom save, please?
Okay.
You weren't
Any-
quick enough.
Wisdom, non-magic. Well, it doesn't make a
It
difference.
is a magical wisdom save.
I don't think I have any bonuses for that, so yeah.
I
I'll
presume you
put
do
it
not
in,
have any
so-
bonuses against illusions.
Let's see. Illusion. Where is illusion? Alphabet. Imperil. Illuminate.
It may not be in
it's
order,
not in order.
because unfortunately,
Okay, cool.
my brain was just like, hey, I'm just gonna slap
I'll
you on the
just
list.
scroll and be like, I don't see anything that's not 0. So, 12.
You fail. As you find a shadowy anchor attached to you that tethers you to the middle of the hallway as the door behind you opens and closes and Xavier approaches. You are not what is the word? Not exactly the sneakiest kitty cat, are you?
I am the sneakiest, okay? That was cheating.
He looks down at you and is like,
What's that?
has an intimidating aura to him. You're not going to tell him what you've heard. He is not to know. I will be letting him know that I have smoothed things over with his grandfather, and that there is going to be nothing else spoken. Okay? And he looks at you less threateningly and more. There's almost a mild level of like begging to his body language, as though there's something at stake here that he cannot afford to fuck up on.
Okay, but you owe me.
What do I owe you?
I will decide that later.
Something that is of equal measure. I'm not dealing with interest. That is bullshit, and it is just a predatory scheme to earn more. To earn more for nothing. Okay? Agreed.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I will reach up to shake his hand.
And he shakes your hand, and you find that the anchor that holds you, that tethers you in place, is no longer there. And he just picks you up, lifts you up under his arm.
Oh, okay.
Well, what? There is going to be a little bit of this, just to assert that you're not immediately going to sprint off and go and blab to him.
I was going to sprint off, but I wasn't going to blab.
Well, I guess this avoids you breaking your neck. It would be a little bit awkward to explain to your matron that, hey, I'm the guy that was part of the people that attacked you. Also, your son, one of your kids is dead. He had snapped his neck scrabbling down the stairs, trying to avoid me. Doesn't sound very good, does it? As
I
he's
am
walking
an
towards the stairs.
experienced stair runner. I don't think these stairs would kill me.
Bet. And so you go down the stairs, and he plops you back down on the floor at the bottom of the stairs, and lets you go.
Just picture the fucking Scooby-Doo-esque running in the air while he's just lifted up off the ground.
Yeah, it's like that. He starts running and then it just stops, and he's like, "What?"
Like the camera slowly panned down to find that you're not on the ground anymore.
Exactly.
So you all gather together, and Mason has returned, and you find Scoria has been left to wait for you. A tiny bit impatient, as you've been. For context, Scoria, you've been waiting for like the last 5-10 minutes for Florian to come back down from upstairs, with seemingly no reason why he would be delayed in such a manner.
Florian.
Hello. Don't worry, everyone's fine.
You won't be. Come on.
Okay.
Menacing. You won't be. Love it. Okay.
So, how did it go? What happened?
Oh, something about a champagne bottle falling.
Oh, that explains the bang. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Florian, you can feel Xavier standing behind you. You can see his shadow looming over you a little bit.
Blotting out the sun.
It's obscure in the candlelight. Imagining this is still relatively early morning, like maybe a couple of hours after the sun's risen.
I can feel his malice.
More of not so much malice, more of a respectful reminder that he is present and of the deal the two of you have made.
Shivers down your spine.
So, are we why is it so hard to say? Are we ready to go?
Well, what was said? A bottle fell. You said you were going to go speak to him.
Duh.
How did it go?
Well, pretty good. I had a little chit chat with him and smoothed things over. It seems as though he came here with the understanding that it was more of a how was it he put it, Florian? An orphanage type situation. He didn't know that you guys were, familial in nature, at least in terms of your bond. I would know because I found a little putty tat outside, listening in on the conversation. He probably shouldn't have been. And he has a slightly endearing smile to him as he looks at you, Florian.
Yeah,
But the level of endearing that's there, it almost feels kind of menacing. Because it's like, yeah, isn't that right? Like when someone's smiling at you perfectly fine, but their eyes are like popping out of their head. Like, yes. Anyway.
Yeah, Florian's a bit of a sneaky salamander.
He's more of a sneaky cat, but you are forgiven for not knowing your difference between a cat and a lizard.
I know it's different. Never mind.
Oh, that is funny. See, sarcasm works beautifully.
You're learning.
It's almost like I know this stuff off of. I have studied many book on small talk. It's not exactly
You have studied
to
the
me.
ancient art of sarcasm.
No, it is also my very favorite way of mocking somebody by telling them they're so intelligent. I could almost be jealous.
Anyway,
That. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Scolia. I guess they're ready to go.
Yes.
is it okay
shit.
for me to visit?
Hmm?
I was very uncertain when I left.
Well, stop being uncertain and just appreciate the fact that the man wants to know you. So, we will visit him when we have time. Now come on, or otherwise I'm going to drag you by your tail.
Yes. Okay.
Shuffle. And you hear him slam his foot into the floorboard. Which makes Florian flinch just a little bit.
That's a loose floorboard.
No. I'm not gonna
Florian hits everything.
I'm not gonna do him that dirty, God no. Because he's considered small.
Catapult.
And because Xavier is part orc, he has, I believe it's the powerful build ability, which means that he will be considered large. Yeah, powerful build. When it comes to lifting, pushing, or dragging, he will be considered large. So there's two size categories different.
A neat Florian-shaped hole in the ceiling.
I would be rolling for him to take bludgeoning damage with the speed at which he would hit the ceiling.
Oh no.
Anyway. So you hop into the car. And life is good. So, you start making your way down the road. All is good and well. Let's see, what's the weather like? Damn. It's not that windy out. Right, watch as I change the audio track and it hits me with an advertisement immediately. There it is.
Is it sunny or is it like snowing?
It's still... It's a little sunny. And there's a bit of wind. But it's very relaxed in nature. Dare I say a tiny bit ominous. Purely because of how quiet. There's like a persistent noise, but it's quite quiet at the same time. And so, you're on your journey. Are you guys doing anything on the way there? Or of, I guess, quote-unquote, meaningful? Anything meaningful? Or is it just enjoying existing and relaxing?
Did I ever... Hang on, let me check my item things.
This is where I've probably forgotten something, isn't it?
Did I ever... I didn't make the high... I've got in herbs to make a high potion. Can I make
Yeah, you can make that while
while
on the journey, yeah.
while we're on the journey?
Oh. I really hope that did not just come up full volume on the thing. If not, I've just deafened somebody. So you start making your high potion. Roll me a craft check.
Craft. I am good at those. That is my good thing I do. Yes. Craft. Okay. Big number. 11. Tragic.
11. You succeed.
Ooh.
I need to add a high potion to your inventory. So you end up burning through the herbs in the process and have to use a little bit of your magic for the whole thing to come together. Which isn't ideal, but considering it's your first time making one of these, it goes pretty well. No, that's a white ribbon. Come on. There we go. Me, I could have just filtered out the whole thing. You are pardoned. Your
Okay.
your sentence is existing.
Anyway.
Evil cackling. Okay, there we go. I have added it to your inventory.
Yippee.
And the day is relatively uneventful. Nothing can realistically sneak up on you because it would be disturbing the snow. The journey is relatively quiet. Let's. What are people's passive insights? Okay, that's fine. And so the majority of the day goes past. Until you reach a small outcrop of forest that's relatively negligible. And it seems, for a few moments, it's like, oh, there's a nice little clearing. Before you realize it's not actually a forest. It's a bunch of it's a bunch of performers that are messing around with some of their props and having a bit of trouble with their tents that give you a little wave as you pass them by.
Must have a wave back.
Yeah, wave back.
And we get to the end of the 8 hours that you'll be traveling for. Where the cart stops and Mason swings around to come and see you guys in the back of the cart. So we can keep going, or we can try and camp out here for the night. It's a little bit exposed, but I think I remember to pack the awning that's supposed to go on that's supposed to attach to the side of the cart for when we're traveling. Depends what you guys want to do.
How much further is it?
So you end up rolling out the map and having a look.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason helps you plot it. He's a bit less. He's normally very unconcerned by the amount of physical contact he makes as he's showing you stuff. He seems very clearly intent to avoid making physical contact with you. But points on the map. Ignore my fat fingers, but about here. Might take us a few more hours to get to the next regularly used pit stop, which is here. But it's at least going to take us about another half day to get there. So we're not getting there tonight, by any means.
We can get to the pit stop, potentially.
Yeah, I don't think the birds will appreciate me, but could be worse, I suppose.
Birds?
Well, yeah, how do you think the cart's moving?
Oh!
And he points to the from where you're sitting, you can just see the tops of their heads, the plumes of the chocobos that are pulling the cart.
What time of day is it now?
Do the math in my head. You said it's about 4 p.m. roughly.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
I think we can keep going for a bit.
Alright. I don't see no problem with that. Give me just a second. Yeah.
I guess give them a bit of extra feed or something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Make
do.
them feel better.
Yeah. He goes around, feeds the birds a little bit, and gets the cart moving again. And about 4 hours later, you arrive at the next pit stop, where Mace pulls the cart up and props the tent up. Basically props up this like big tent. Do you guys know what an awning is?
No.
Yes.
No.
It's essentially like a
Is it a
big
big
tent thing that you can attach to the side of a caravan.
Oh,
Like a think kind of like a, you know, like you got like a front porch on some houses. I guess kind of like that. Let's see if I can. See if I can find an image for you. Sort of like this.
Uh,
I see.
And so it is essentially just a tent that you stick to the outside of like a caravan. He's got one of those for the cart, so he pops that up. And there's plenty of room in there. It looks a little bit ragged in certain places, but it's mainly the like around the bottom of the awning itself, which makes sense. It's being pinned into the ground. Right. Well, I'm probably gonna sleep in the cart just to keep keep an eye out on the birds. But hopefully y'all be all right in here.
Should be.
yeah, should be. I don't see why we not.
Okay.
Let us know if you need anything.
And he He puts on one. He's got a big goofy smile put on his face. Please, I don't need anything. I'm a big, strong boy, just like me, Ma. Just like me, Ma told me. Now then, if you need any cushioning, I've got a bunch of thick blankets in the corner over there. And yeah, if you need anything, just come out to the cart. Just make sure you put your shoes on, or otherwise you're gonna get wet feet. Okay?
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, you guys rest up nice. And he grabs a couple of the really heavy-duty blankets and this very large pillow, and walks out of the awning, closing it behind him. It is as the zip closes, leaving the five of you in there together as Xavier has gone to look for firewood, or at least find something that is usable for firewood. Since you are nowhere near any forested areas.
Where actually are we?
You are in the middle of the wilderness. It's like a large plateau of sorts.
Okay, so it's not an actual. So we looked at parts of the map and said we'll stop here and here and here. There's not actual little tiny settlements that we're
No.
stopping at. Okay.
Unfortunately, due to the nature of the island that you are living on being quite temperamental with its strong wind events.
I heard pit stop and my brain thought some sort of medieval service station.
No.
So.
Unfortunately, due to the monsters that inhabit the island and the rather temperamental, windy weather, such a thing would not stay in place for long.
Speaking of which, are there any signs of any larger or more dangerous monsters around? Any tracks, anything?
Be it a blessing or a curse, the snow around does not seem to even be slightly touched. Aside from the road that, or like pathway type thing that Mason is riding the cart along.
Did it snow heavily on the way here?
No.
No, so it's not
It's been
snow.
There was a very heavy blizzard that swept through. That's kind of at least like a few days ahead of you guys by this point.
Okay, that is a good sign. Should be relatively safe. How's everybody holding up? It's
Right.
we've been on our own for a little while now, so make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't find Matron in, but you know, there's still the visions are hopeful. We will find. So
Yeah,
I don't know how, but we will.
yeah, it's hopeful. Maybe there's some way of seeing in the future again without having to use these dangerous cards. Maybe you have more far-seeing abilities to unlock.
Maybe.
If you wish, Florian, you can attempt to concentrate on the feelings you did have whilst seeing the future to see if you can tap into some sort of what I'm going to refer to as like an internal instinct.
Let's try that out then. I'll just close my eyes, sit cross-legged, and like really focus.
I guess whilst that's happening.
Mhm.
What about you, Scoria?
Mhm.
How are you feeling about everything?
Alright, I suppose. I don't think too much.
Can I try and roll another Arcana check on that pendant? See if I can work out anything else about it.
You would need to be able to see the pendant, and I presume, please correct me if I'm wrong, Scoria, that the pendant is currently in a bag or in a pocket hidden from sight.
No, after the conversation that she had with Marcel earlier, she decided to wear it.
Okay, then yes, you may. You may make a check on it.
Can I see the pendant again?
I am wearing it, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to
That's
physically
I don't need to hold it. Okay.
No. Got
So
that.
ask for it to have it handed to me. That's 18.
You don't get much more than you did last time.
Ah.
There is a slightly warm feeling to it, but nothing more. However, you doing this catches Florian's eye, distracting him from his focus.
Oh.
What you got there?
A pendant that I received after the request for guidance from the Night Mother.
Well, like it just came from the sky?
No, another person.
Wow, I didn't see it.
Scoria will explain what she told Marcel. Like, what was it,
Right.
a night ago?
Exposition.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
understandable.
that's so cool. I can looking for my spells. I can identify on it if you want.
What? No, I don't know.
What does that do?
But you have seen Florian use it before.
Is this a new spell you picked up? Let me check.
No, not really.
It's not a new one.
No.
But
Or
it
at least not recent.
is.
It was a level 2
Yeah,
when we
I would
got to level
say
2.
I would say this is a spell that the other two that are still awake would not be familiar with because it's learnt recently.
Oh, I did use it on the necklace, the other necklace. So
Yeah.
they've seen it. But so let me check what the description is. Lots of focuses depending on around, blah blah blah. Arcana check of okay. Caster gains +10 on their Arcana. Okay.
So you
So I
spend
make an Arcana check with +10.
yeah, and then you spend 18 seconds concentrating on it to get all three stacks of the effect of the item, effect of the spell. Brain cells.
So I +16 total.
Damn.
Cool. Well, I have +16 with the +10. Not just +16 default. 24.
24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are successful in identifying the item. There is the presence of a magical aura within the necklace, and it is the most potent aura within range of you as of this point in time. And it appears to be blessed with a spell, but you're not quite certain what the spell is. Let me have a look-see to see if you would even recognize what the spell would be. Give me a second, I did not mentally process the idea that, hey, I should probably have this thing to hand. Herder. Yeah, roll me a wisdom check. Because that's your casting
My
stat.
favorite.
Tis your casting stat and would be in the same vein as where the spell originates from. So
It's my casting stat and like my second worst stat because I'm built wrong.
not built wrong. You're built for fun, not for optimization.
So true. Just wisdom check. You won't believe this.
What should be a nat 1?
That's right.
It isn't that one.
Ah,
Wow.
I sneeze on your necklace and lose my focus.
can we give him advantage somehow?
You can help him with it, Marcel.
How do I help him with it?
It'd basically be the same sort of thing you were doing when testing doing the Arcana check yourself. You would not be rolling though; it would just be Florian rolling a second dice, since the help action
Well, I will
just
not
gives
roll the
advantage.
pink dice because that was evil. So I'm rolling again.
The pink dice of betrayal. Yes, as Marcel takes up the opportunity to assist you in your investigation.
12, which is better than 1.
Yeah.
But
I guess Marcel will be like holding it up to the light or something.
Yeah.
To make it easier to see.
I'm just going, focus, Florian, focus.
Think, Flory, think.
Come on, don't get distracted. Come on.
What will you do if you can't figure this out?
Inner peace and serenity.
I'm just imagining him like shaking him, going like, "Peace and serenity."
Find your zen.
So what's the total check? Is it 12? Okay. So you realize that there is a spell that has been enchanted into this necklace that you would be capable of learning as somebody in the vein of astromancy. However, you are fully aware that the strength of the spell within this item is far beyond your current capabilities. This necklace has been enchanted with the spell Legend Lore. And it's not clear what the activation phrase or trigger is.
Is it clear what Legend Lore is?
You can roll me a history check if any of you would like to try and figure this out, because this is something you have seen once or twice before.
Where would I know this from?
Helga.
I could try.
You're all welcome to try. Since the three of you, I'm
Yeah.
picturing like Florian's like holding the necklace whilst it's still around Scoria's neck. So she's like having to like turtle her neck backwards to look down at what's going on.
Gloria has 3 more chins than usual.
Ooh, 22.
22.
Oh, it's like the turtle thing.
I remember.
I mean, yeah, that's the least eloquent way you could have worded that possible.
I recall.
18.
So 22, 18. Scoria, are you attempting a history roll?
Can I? Hold on. 10.
10. Okay.
Nice.
So start with the result for Scoria. So you're aware that this spell is supposed to help you learn about like things of great importance, such as like people, places, or like objects. But you can't really recall much past that. It's been a while since you've seen Helga use it. For Marcel and Florian, the two of you remember a bit more. You're aware that with the depending on how long the spell is focused on for, it can call to mind important people, places, or things. If you have the person or the thing or a thing connected to them to hand, or you're in the location necessary, you can spend time focusing on it. But the less specific details you have, the longer it takes to get a successful casting.
So what does it do? It tells you about them.
Yes, so essentially it allows you to bring to mind legends about an important person, place, or thing. Or when you complete the spell, it brings to mind legends about that person, place, or thing. Go figure. Which can be current, long forgotten, or even information that nobody in amongst the ranks of the common folk has known. Period. If the person, place, or thing itself isn't of great importance, then you gain nothing from it. And you're aware that people above a certain level of strength are considered important via the spell's rulings. The only reason you know that is because I'm picturing the two of you found Helga using it and then started asking her every question under the sun about it.
Why?
Yeah.
What's that? What's it do?
Florence probably like, "Can you teach me, please?"
No, teach me first.
your musings are cut short for a moment, as you can pick up an eggy smell in the tent that distracts you.
Marcel, you fart.
I did no such thing. Although,
Mm,
I don't know how useful that would be when about Helga, because we have the book, we know everything. But what about the emblem that we have for the guild? Maybe we could learn a bit more about that.
that could be good.
Can all three of you roll me a perception check?
Okay. Oh, so is it smell based?
Every
Yes.
single
Excellent.
important
Advantage.
Your dice just do not like you today, Marcel.
No, they do not.
Okay, that's a 16 total.
Okay. Marcel,
So 12.
a 12.
Don't have
Okay.
the roll 20 open.
What
And
do I have a
Scoria,
high perception for?
what is thy perception?
7.
7.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You notice that the eggy smell is getting a little stronger. But it's not
Is it coming
eggs.
from
It's
a
something.
place?
There's almost a level of acidity, like an acrid accent to it. And you notice that the tent has gotten a little warmer.
Does it smell like it's coming from a place?
Yeah. The center of the tent.
Is there anything in the center of the tent?
You notice that there is a small flicker.
I think we need to get out of the tent.
Okay. Okay, we leave the tent.
You take one step away, and the flicker is enveloped in a spiral of flame.
Okay.
And standing before you is a rather well-dressed gentleman.
Oh.
With sharp features, and he seems like a type of ram or fawn of some kind.
Hello? Can we help you?
Ah, hello.
Hi.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And he does a little spinny hand motion and bows.
So we're still in the tent.
You are still in the
tent
tent.
moving.
You notice that the zipper to the tent has disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Who are you? Well, state your business now.
My, the cat's already showing its claws. Why, I haven't done anything. But, if you must know, the name is Mal. Or, as I am referred to back home, Malatos. It is a wonderful pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you too, Mr. Potts.
Last campaign for flashbacks be like.
Well, you see, I happen to have a little proposition for you young ones. But please do not be frightened of me. I am little more than a traveler who has information that may be of use to you. You will have to excuse my my entrance. I read it in a book recently that very much appealed to me. It was about a murder, or a group of crows leaving the nest.
Marcel's like, or breath catches in his throat and is like, oh, promise, okay.
I promise you, I mean no harm. Would you like to roll insight?
Yes.
It will be pointless, but go for it.
I probably, it isn't well known who Malatos is. I assume that I shouldn't roll history for it because I wouldn't know.
No, you as Florian would not know. However, one of your past characters definitely would.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know who Malatos is.
But none of you have any idea who this Malatos man is.
Insight, was it? Okay.
Yes.
This strange man, I have no idea who he is.
I don't remember this person, that's bothering me.
God's sake.
Am I the only one that remembers?
Oh, I know exactly. I rolled a 20 on that insight. That's a 23.
Me having
Fuck my
to
mum.
me having
11.
to so 23, 11, and
9.
Great
Or
thing that no one
6.
heard what I said. Great.
I
Maybe
heard what you
not,
said.
I
I
don't-
chose not to bring attention to it.
I think we shouldn't tell Marcel just because it'll make it more fun. We'll tell you after, I think.
Turn you off to session. It's okay.
I'm sure he's already figured it out. Anyway,
I see.
as far as the man's words go, he seems to be trustworthy. He very clearly does not seem to carry any intent to harm you.
Apart from the fact that he's refused to let us leave.
You can't explain that one. Anyway, I have a proposition for you. If you'd be willing to hear out a poetic soul such as mine. Well, might thou indulge a poetic soul?
Oh,
Do you do poetry?
Why, yes, of course. How is anybody supposed to pass the time?
Well, I
Speak.
make
I
good poems.
You do? Interesting.
I don't do much poetry, but I make things.
He has a very kind smile on his face. So,
But
would you be willing to hear me out?
do at least hear, yes.
Okay. Wonderful. You see, I happen to have overheard that you have a predicament on your hands. In that you have a missing matron. A mother figure that has abandoned her nest. In a manner of speaking. And I may happen to have some understanding of where this mother figure of yours may be. If my sources are correct, anyway. And so, what I would like to do is offer you what information I have. But as is the gathering of information tedious, I might request some reimbursement for assisting you in your quest. Nothing too important. I promise. I am a reasonable man after all. I do not expect to appear out of nothing, all dramatically, and then demand something, I don't know, comical like souls. I believe that's what the common story that is sown is nowadays.
Souls?
Well, yes. And he waves his hand to the large curled ram horns. I believe that my manifestation, as it were, or appearing, is often used in child's tales about the infernal
Would any of us be familiar with what he is?
You would. He looks exactly like a wild fawn, just a lot taller. It seems as though he is some sort of hybrid between a wild fawn and a tiefling. Something along that line.
Marcel's still not really sure, not really getting what the guy's trying to project, sort of points at his own horns and goes,
Okay. Well, then I will lay it out simple, if I'm being a little bit too, floral with one's choice of words. I have information that would be quite pertinent to you.
mm-hmm.
In return, I would like a little favor.
No.
My. Someone's a little feisty, aren't they? Have I offended you?
What are you? A devil? A demon?
I'm just a man.
Sure, a man that will magically appear with the smell of sulfur.
Well, yes. Are you aware that some spells do leave a unfortunate aftermath? And I do happen to be a devil slayer. I deal with contracts.
I don't believe you.
And that is perfectly understandable. I suppose my rather theatrical entrance didn't exactly leave a good first impression. But I promise
Let
you, there is...
us leave.
Okay. And he waves his hand towards the entrance of the tent. I have not prevented you from leaving this entire time. And you notice that the zipper to the tent is there. Unfortunate.
Oh, it was not there before.
It's been there the entire time. Are you alright? You seem... He tilts his head, pondering. I suppose it's no interest of mine. Well, toodaloo then.
Wait, Scoria. Don't you think we should at least hear
No.
what he wants?
No.
Suit yourself. And he disappears. And a little...
Scoria leaves the tent and is visibly shaking.
What was that about? I guess Marcel will go
I don't
after
know.
it.
Yeah, I'll sort of slowly get up and look out to make sure that she's okay.
Okay, you leave the tent to find Scoria outside, looking a little perturbed, to say the least.
Scoria,
What is it, Marcel?
what was that about?
You do realize that not everyone that we will come across will have good intentions. Yes?
Yes. I realize
That creature is no normal man. I do not know who this Malatos is, but especially with the way that he is talking about how children read stories about infernal creatures that will take their souls. He's clearly a fucking devil or demon or something. He might not want our souls, but don't.
Okay. I can
Well,
see you
maybe
feel very strongly
when we
about
get
this.
into a town, we can look him up or something.
Perhaps, but I'm not going to bed now. I need some time,
Okay.
Okay.
please.
Just don't go too far.
And so, I presume the two of you are going back into the tent to let Scoria exist.
I'll just say one more thing. I'll just be like,
Mhm.
we're here for you when you need us. Okay? And then I'll go in.
Are you going in as well, Marcel?
Yes.
Okay, so the two of you go back inside the tent. The scent of sulfur is gone. as though it were never there to begin with. And be it fortunate or not, Hugmug and Mocha seem to have slept through this encounter completely.
That sounds pretty standard, yeah.
I roll to see if they would get woken up by this, and I roll 2 nat 1s. So they slept through seamlessly.
They never believe us that a weirdly sharply dressed man appeared in the tent and the zips disappeared.
Scoria, what are you doing?
Gloria goes to sit on the cart.
And as you do so, you find that you hop up, take a seat, look out of the night sky, and you can hear Mason mumbling to himself. He's clearly wide awake. You can tell that he's noticed you're there, but he seems to be keeping a respectful distance, as though no making a visible note of, like, I'm picturing like Scoria's like went like really tense, so like the feathers on her wings are spiked up a little bit and like shoulders are raised. At least how I'm picturing it in my head. This
Yeah.
visible tension. So he is leaving you to yourself. And in spite of this rather hair-raising encounter, one might say, you all feel like you're forgetting something.
Xavier.
And that's when Scoria makes the realization that Xavier has yet to return to the camp. It's been about an hour.
Vision. He was in the middle of a forest. In his vision. Uh-oh.
He was in a well.
Scoria,
Wow.
upon realizing this,
He was in a
is
well.
going to immediately leap up, fly into the air. I imagine she was just sitting there and went, "Where's Xavier?" Like verbally.
Do we hear her fly up?
No.
And
I'm picturing that
she's going
Scoria
to-
taking off is relatively silent in nature. Anyway, sorry, Scoria, please continue.
I'm guessing we all saw Xavier walk off earlier.
Yeah, he announced that he was heading off to go and look for something to fuel the fire with.
Scoria is going to beeline it in the direction that Xavier went.
Alone.
Well, she did just say, "Where's Xavier?" before shooting up right.
We did hear that.
No, you did not.
Mason might have.
Mason definitely did.
Oh, drama and tension. I don't like it.
Yeah.
My poor heart.
I switched from G8.
Yeah, Florian is just staying up, waiting for Scoria to get back into the tent.
How long
Yes,
has it
I
been
sit
since
there,
he
mate.
went out for firewood?
An hour. didn't
About an hour. He's been gone for a while.
I thought Marcel would made a realization that he's not there on his own.
And so... Oh goodness. I gotta readjust the volume again. There we go. And so, Scoria, you fly off into the night. Look at searching the nearby terrain desperately to try and find where Xavier is. Feeling rather shaken by the encounter. And you see a flash of color in the distance. It appears, and after a little bit, disappears. you find him. The dear man looking a little bit perturbed. As he seems to be looking around.
Xavier,
He looks up to see you. Oh. Hello. I did not expect to see you so soon. I was making my way back. I found something, and he holds up a bundle of a bundle of like various bits of like broken twigs and things like that that could be used for firewood. Sorry, did I?
Tori just laughs in relief.
What? Did something happen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck.
what is the problem?
We were visited by someone who claimed his name was Malatos. With the stench of sulfur as he appeared.
Oh, that is
In our
strange.
tent. Magically appearing in our tent. The zipper disappeared magically. And wanted to exchange information regarding our matron's whereabouts.
For what?
For
Anything
a
interesting?
favor.
Do you know what that favor was?
I do not want to know what it was. But considering that he was almost teasing the fact that he was obviously some infernal creature, with how he was referring to with the taking of souls and being what parents read to their children,
I see.
nightmares.
What did it look like? And he has there's an expression of curiosity on his face. Like if you... Anything in particular?
We had ram like horns.
I see. And he nods, and he's thinking. He's very clearly pondering something. Okay. I will.
But I also do not really want to hear someone out that magically teleports into your tent whilst people are trying to go to sleep, whilst Hugmug and Boka were asleep.
Not exactly the most thoughtful, huh? Alright, I will start making my way back.
I will accompany you. It has been an hour after all.
Is it? Oh, I
Yes.
haven't noticed. My bad.
Were you enjoying your time out here?
Pondering things. Say, you seem tense. If I have permission, I could ease your tenseness a little bit. No, nothing of a suspect nature.
I wasn't going to assume,
No,
but it
I know.
totally it totally didn't sound suspicious.
Well, I don't really... He looks a little bit embarrassed. I don't really know how to communicate with people.
Do not worry.
I've been... And as you're walking back, he is talking to you. So I'm picturing you're walking and talking.
Yeah.
I have not exactly been, as you say it, trained to be social. When I was at
You
the
were
chef...
trying to be an assassin, yes.
Duh. More to work alongside the assassins. Have you ever heard of, there were a couple that were quite, infamous in their time. You have Assassin Orkstack, Assassin Tangat, and, what was his name? Assassin Velidus. They were apparently pretty big names, but they went missing in action at some point. But they tend to train us in combinations. So they have somebody who is like the assistant, and then the person that is actually doing the killing. You know? I was being trained to be the assistant, but the person that I was getting trained with, well, how does one put it? Didn't exactly appreciate the situation he was put in. found out what happened to his parents. Apparently they got blended. Something like that.
Blended.
Duh. Um,
Not a great metal image. No.
no, sorry, that's not exactly the best way of phrasing it, but that was how he put it to me, and I don't really know how else to explain it without more details. Something about forbidden smoothie.
That.
It was, yes, it was quite a disgusting thing to hear.
Forbidden smoothie is, I think, arguably worse.
Duh. But, he ended up, rebelling against the Shattered Antler, and they made me put him down. And he looks very meek and very saddened by it. I was essentially told if I didn't kill him, then I would be killed as well. And it is one of the few times that I have been scared for my life. I know, terrifying little man like me being afraid like little child. Anyway, before I get too sidetracked, stop there a second.
Hmm?
You.
The squirrel will stop.
He puts his hand on your shoulder, and you feel this warmth radiating over you. Kind of like when Florian casts a healing spell on you, but it seems to take those feelings of irritation and rage that you feel and quell them somewhat. As though your anxiety mellows. You feel more comfortable. You feel a bit more relaxed. The thought is still in your mind, but it doesn't seem to instigate that fight or flight response that you felt a few minutes ago. That should help a little bit. I'm not exactly a proficient healer, but I do happen to have a few things that relieve anxieties and panic, as it were. So it is the least I can do for the one who is helping to tolerate my existence. Say, this Melidos guy. Was he wearing like a suit and tie type thing?
I mean, he was very well dressed, so yeah.
I see. That is very strange.
Yeah.
Each to their own, I guess.
Fuck.
And you get back to the campsite.
Oh, before we get back to the campsite.
Oh, yeah.
Xavier, since we're going to be heading to Lemphar to speak to the guild master of the Sleeping Wolves, do you think you'll take the opportunity to see that the friend you were talking about that joined up with them?
Well, that depends on whether or not he would be willing to talk to me.
Tension?
No, not exactly tension. More, I doubt he actually remembers who I am. You know?
Oh?
Well, I only spoke to him once or twice. He delivered the package to me for about a month or so ago, before I got shipped out to, well, be part of the act that I am less than proud of at this point. But I would like to. But honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. But I do know one thing. And there's a very strong, there's almost like a fire in his eyes as he says it. That I am going to dedicate myself to taking this Order of the Crystal down. Even if it costs me my life, I will do it. They destroyed everything that I knew, everything that I was, and everything who I was, and everyone that I knew now wants to kill is going to be told to kill me. And they are trapped in obligation. This why this is why I'm going to try and convince Marcel to take more of an interest in Mason than me. That way, you and the
I
rest of your
fucking do it.
what? I don't know why he seems so interested in me. Honestly, I think it's a terrible life decision for him, but do you think he's going to listen to me anytime soon? So I'm going to slowly try
Doesn't
and...
listen to me.
That's why I'm going to try and get him to be more interested in Mason. That way, you don't have to see your sibling throw themselves into the fire when I eventually make a terrible decision. And he looks very meek as he's looking at you.
Something tells me that he won't be so easily swayed.
That is not too difficult to do. Simply put, I just need to figure out how to push Mason to say what he's feeling.
Make his move.
I guess so. I just don't want to be the reason why the little mouse ends up getting taken out. The same with the rest of you. This is why when we get to Lenfar, I'm going to try and find a way to help without necessarily being around. I don't think that my presence is actually helping. You know?
I don't really know. I don't really understand much about the... Squirrel makes a weird hand gesture, like everything. Everything about the actual world is very confusing.
I know that feeling firsthand, but better to redirect my life in a productive manner, rather than, you know. He ponders for a moment. I guess essentially making sure that I'm not going to waste your sibling's time when I don't really think that he'll be very well off with me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt that that is the case. He seems very easily influenced by mystery and intrigue. So hopefully he will listen to me. If he doesn't, then I don't know. I guess.
Suffer in silence, I guess.
But thank you. And this conversation didn't happen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice. And the two of you make it back. Where Florian and Marcel are waiting for your return. And Xavier takes a little seat outside. Whilst you end up going back into the tent. Having cooled off a little bit, both figuratively and literally, because of the snowy plains that you're walking in. To where your two companions await your return.
Oh, I'm glad you're back. If you took longer, I think we would have gotten everyone together and went after you. But
Don't worry. I went and
you okay?
yeah, I'm a lot better now. I went to found Xavier and walked back with him after he gathered all of the firewood. Didn't realize that he'd been gone for well over an hour. Was thinking about a lot of stuff. Understandable. It had been a crazy few days.
Yeah, he has a lot to think about. So that was some kind of devil or demon, you said?
I think so, at least.
Well, that does not answer the question, but what the hell would the devil or demon want with us?
Well, whatever favor that he wanted in exchange for the information probably was it, but I'm not exactly keen to find out.
I suppose so.
Does Scoria know much about demons and devils from her, well, religious
No,
background?
not at all. Anima's domain does not diverge into the infernal. The only thing that you would know in relation to that via Anima is that the Night Mother often gets portrayed as a devilish slash demonic figure by the Light Father or Alexander. But there just from what you would know, there doesn't really seem to be any actual affiliation between the devilish slash demonic and the Night Mother herself.
Well, I have to admit it would have been nice to at least know what they wanted, because it would have explained why they were interested in this in the first place, but I trust your judgment. If it's something I'm not comfortable with, then that's that.
I mean, I don't exactly want to be talking to a person that appears magically in our tent, locking us inside with obviously some kind of magic. I mean, the way that he was dressed, I could say shit about nobles, but
Yes, he definitely had a mightier than thou energy, and was definitely trying to manipulate us. I mean, that was much obvious, but
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he could have helped us.
we don't know now, so guess there's
well,
no use.
if he ever decides to come around and knocking at our door again, I do not want to be the one to answer.
Hopefully he knocks next time instead of just inviting himself in.
Yeah, kind of a dick move. Anyway, got the firewood. Get the fire going.
Yeah. So
I think I'm going to join the Mocha and Harkmark in sleeping.
So, Scoria, you go get yourself into bed and get nice and comfy. And fortunately, Mason's supply of big thick blankets makes it almost feel like you're sleeping on a mattress. It's really nice.
Scoria will be hugging Mocha in her sleep.
Adorable.
I don't have favorites, I swear.
Lorian and Marcel, are you going to sleep, or are you staying up and sitting by the fire for a little bit?
Do we actually have a fire going now?
It's a collective of small embers.
Okay.
It's nothing major, but it's enough that it keeps the tent lit and warm.
Okay, well, I will take some of the sticks that were gathered and get the fire properly going.
Okay.
I will go to sleep.
So Florian goes to sleep as well, and you are left, Marcel. You are left alone in the tent, at least in terms of who is awake.
And fire's in the tent?
Yes. There is a small column that has basically been set up to disperse the smoke outside the tent rather than inside the tent.
Right. Okay.
Don't worry, I thought of this before I said fire inside of tent. You're not gonna get
Carbon monoxide.
Yeah, you're not gonna get carbon
You'll
monoxide.
die silently and with no warning.
Nah, I'm evil, but I'm nowhere near that
Did
evil.
the devil demon
That's
come
the
out
information
yet?
that Malthus was going to give us.
You have carbon monoxide levels of 2.3.
Yeah, that's the information. And now we don't know.
Wait, it zips away. It's a PSA showing the effects of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, fucking hilarious. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards.
You're noticing
Marcel,
you're starting to get a little busy.
you were asking a question.
I was
You
asking
forgot.
whether that's where the demon slash devil slash whatever came from.
Yes.
Did it come from the embers of the fire?
You presume so, based on where he was standing. He was obscuring the fire,
Oh.
so it was like behind him. The other two drift off into sleep. A surprisingly restful sleep, despite the anxiety of what just happened.
Honk, me.
Oh,
Leaving you alone, Marcel, with your thoughts, keeping an eye on the fire.
Yeah.
There is a single empty bedroll in this tent. Mason's opted to sleep outside, and you notice that Xavier has not come inside yet. Context before anybody jumps on that one.
I wasn't going to, but now you've
Mm.
made me think about it.
Marcel will sit and wait a little. Just, yeah. Contemplate meeting his granddad, contemplate how the thing with Xavier went, if he came across right. And mainly contemplating that he's kind of let his curiosity and boundless energy get the better of him a little bit, and he's being a bit disruptive and rude, and he feels a bit bad for it.
Aww.
Understandable.
He has annoyed a lot of people today, and that bothers him.
Would you like to make a hearing-based perception check?
Character flaws, baby. Fuck! I don't hear shit.
I didn't at all purposefully lower the DC, knowing that this was going to happen.
Is the DC lower than 10?
What did you roll?
10.
Total.
Yes. I don't get advantage. Despite my massive mouse ears.
That's a show.
What did you roll on the dice?
3.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I've rolled
Um,
3s, 6s, 2s.
You roll above a 10 the whole session.
Oh yeah, no. For stuff that's not important. Stuff that's
Okay.
not story important. Stuff that doesn't affect how Marcel is either seen as a character or affects others, I've rolled fantastically.
Understandable. You notice that there are voices talking outside of the tent. One of which you pick up as Xavier's, and one that sounds rather affluent.
What are they saying? Or have I not rolled high enough on perception to hear what
You've
they're
not
saying?
rolled high enough to hear what they're saying, but you notice that Xavier is talking to somebody who sounds very affluent in nature.
Can I try and listen?
You may attempt to.
Finally!
Should not be looking at the chat.
22!
You can't make out exactly what's being said, but you feel an uncomfortable twisting feeling in your stomach upon hearing the secondary voice. It's not Mason. Whoever Xavier is talking to outside is not a voice that you are immediately familiar with.
Not the voice of the person we just met, then.
Roll a history check. As you seem to find an intense difficulty in recognizing what they sound like.
20.
Yes, it is. The same pompous tone to his voice.
How far away do they sound from the tent?
You're not sure.
Sometimes you have to push boundaries. Sometimes you have to push boundaries. Sometimes you have to push boundaries. Marcel's gonna put his ring on.
Okay. So you put the ring
And
on,
sneak outside the tent.
and you sneak outside the tent, being very cautious with the zip. And you see the goat man standing before Xavier. They're talking.
About.
So that's it. I just have to wait now. Yes, of course. And simply put, everything that you've asked me to make sure happens will happen. Don't worry, friend. You're in good hands. Duh. Okay. Deal. Splendid. We shall see each other again. Goodbye. Goodbye, Sir Esbern. And you watch as the figure disappears. And you hear a rather defeated sigh come out of Xavier.
Hope I did the right thing. Got to make sure that I don't get anybody else killed.
And that is where we're going to end session.
I'm a slap a bitch.
I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Mm.
Bye.